So let's close the history assistant. Let's go to the tools section, and there we have the security administration. Now this security administration screen is the main center to edit all of the data stored in the local database for this symbol. So let's go to symbol management, select M. Here we go, and it will load all the prices here in our table. It found 10,453 prices for end of day data. Quite amazing. We can also switch to intraday data, reload. We have 153 intraday prices as well, collected while having the quoteman in the background. So it will store all these prices as well, and we can watch intraday data. You can actually edit this information right here in the list. You have a date selection box where you can change the date, you can edit the numbers directly. And what you could do now is you can find the point in time where the split occurred. Let's say we go to this location here. Okay, around June 72 there was a major event. So we see it's the 15th of June, the last day when the price was at this level. Then there was a split. So we could now go in here and adjust all the values manually, which means, okay, the split is 1 to 2, so we would have to divide all the above values by 2, and as you can see, this would mean a lot of work. So Fibotrader has a means to help you with this, and this is the split management. So when you go to we have the little menu bar here in the top. When you go to quote management, you have several options which we'll discuss, but first of all we have splits. And if you go to splits, we can have a new entry and say, okay, let's go back in time to 1970, and when we are there, let's go to June, and it's June 15th when we have the split, and the factor is 0.5, that's correct. And then we have entered the split, but it's not executed yet. This means we have simply stored it in the database, and only when you select it and execute the split, okay, then it will have recalculated the data. So if you check it now, go to 1972 in June. Oh, we see I made a mistake. I entered 1970 instead of 1972. This is not a problem because we can undo the split, edit it, and simply say, okay, it is not 1970, it's 1972. Okay, select it, execute it, close, and we see all the prices are adapted now. And if we reload the data here in our chart, reload, we will see the first split is gone. We can now do this for all the other 3 splits which are here, and could clean up the chart this way. There is a neat little feature here. You can either enter the splits manually or you can have them detected. So if you click the detect splits for the current symbol, current means here loaded in the symbol manager, securities administration, detect current symbol, it will tell us, okay, I found a split in 3M on the 15th of June 1987. Yeah, that's this one. Yes, corrected. I find 194. That's this one. Yes. And I found one in 2003. That's this one. Yes. And let's reload our chart. And the Fibotrader will automatically have corrected all of the prices historically and auto-detected the splits. You can even automate this more. You can have detected splits in any of the folders or catalogs, and it will clean up the whole catalog for you. So that's a great feature. Now let's see what else we can do here. So as I showed you already, you can load intraday data here, and If you look at our list here, imagine you would only have intraday data. Then it would be neat to convert this intraday data to end-of-day data as well, so you have some daily data items or prices, and you can do this with the little intraday to end-of-day conversion, either for the current symbol as well or for the whole catalog, and the system will recompress the intraday data to daily data and save it in the local database. Then another nice item is you can merge quotes from other symbols. So you can say, okay, I want to have 3M and I want to load data from any other symbol. Let's say I have a different data vendor and I want to get data from it. So I could select another data vendor, define what type of data I want to load, and also the time range, and import data from this other symbol into my 3M symbol. Quite useful if you, for example, have ASCII data which you accidentally imported into the wrong symbol. You can quickly clean it up this way. And also, when we are at the topic of cleaning up, you can also delete quotes. And delete quotes is quite powerful. You select, first of all, what symbols you want to affect. So either you want to select all the symbols in the database, and then it will go through the whole database. Or you can only have a selection, and selection is the typical selection screen again, either single symbol, folders, catalogs, whatever you want to. So, okay, I want to delete symbols for 3M. Intraday and end of day, okay, and then I can find a condition which needs to be fulfilled in order for quotes to be deleted, and this can either be a date or a value. So the date, I can define either all prices before this date I want to have removed from the database, or all prices which occurred after this date I want to have removed from the database, or if the values are above or below a certain value. So typically you select the value part when you have imported data which is faulty, or example has values of 0 or negative values. Then you can quickly clean it up, and you don't have to waste your time cleaning it up manually. Now, when it's possible to delete quotes, you can also delete symbols, and symbols you can delete in the symbol management, and then you have the items here with the little delete symbols module, and again you have a very similar interface. You can either go through all the securities in the database or only through a selection, and you can have conditions either when the last update was done, meaning price update. If there is no actual price information available, you can get rid of it and clean your database, or if the volume is below a certain value. So if you have these low volume trading stocks which you didn't actually want to have in there from some exotic indices, you can quickly get rid of them and speed up the system. If you do a lot of filtering and stuff, then use this option to get rid of it. We have seen in the menus there are also some other functions available. So let's quickly see what they are doing. So when we go here, we can create new symbols in the database altogether, to have something completely from scratch. We can delete the current symbol. We can refresh the data. And then there's something called fundamentals. We can save and restore fundamentals, and fundamentals is meant with the fundamental data which we can enter in the tab. So we have the price list which comes from the internet, and then we have fundamentals which we enter manually. So we have a name, we have a symbol, and we can select a type of this symbol. And what is quite important is the historical symbol. So if you download data from Yahoo, this is what is actually listed on the Yahoo page. So this is important. Maybe I can quickly show you where this value comes from. If you open a web browser, and we are here at Yahoo, we click on Finance, Dow Jones, and we just selected Dow Jones and 3M. Let's go to Components. And in Components, we can go to M. And down here in the bottom, when you look here in the bottom area, we see S equals M, and this is the historical symbol. So this works for any Yahoo index you're downloading. So make sure you are having the correct historical symbol here, and then the data will be downloaded automatically by the quoteman. You have some more extended fundamentals where you can have option values, like you can track some options here. You can have strike values, you can have option types, you can have ratios and the underlying values, stuff like this. And anytime you change something here, then you want to persist it, you can go and resave the fundamentals. Just like that. Now there can be the case when you have symbols in your database which only have these symbol names as their name. So if it's downloaded from Yahoo, then they might have only MMM as their name, although it's the symbol. So you can have a quick selection dialog here also, which lists here these in quoteman terms unnamed symbols. So when you click it, it will load the list where the name equals the symbol, and as we can see, it will load quickly, and we see all the indices are named there, and quite a lot of other symbols are also not having names. Usually this is not a problem. I mean, it's not a problem at all, but if you want to have some clearer naming, you can quickly load something and simply give it a name. You load it, go to fundamentals, give it a name, and then it will disappear from the list, and you have a nicer name here in the chart. FreeMCO, for example. So the final thing which you can do in the securities administration, when we go back to our FreeM value, is we can administrate news. So in the additional section back here, we can enter news. Let's say, for example, we want to say, I heard something great, should buy at 50, for example. So this is some news which you read on the internet, or when you have some blog about a stock, and you can say, okay, the news was on this date, and you can have a category. Let's say you have a new category here. It's called tech stocks, for example. Okay, and there you go. And you click OK, and then you have the first news. You can have any number of news here in your first symbol. So these news are stored per symbol. You can close it now, and that's basically it. I will show you later on where you can actually access these news in the Fibotrader. This can be a nice information store for you. Now let's close this, and let's go back to the quoteman main menu.